Hi there, it's Diane the Nursing Geek, and today's video is going to be more of a booktube video, I guess, but it's also about language acquisition, because there's two languages I'm working on learning right now. I've been working on learning one for many years and one for just a couple of years. The one for many years, the one I've been working on for many years is ASL. And starting on June 26th, I'm going to be taking the ASL 1 course at the American School of the Deaf here in Hartford, or actually West Hartford. I took a course in ASL back when I was, I want to say like 11, maybe 12. My dad worked at the community college that we lived near, and I'm pretty sure he pulled a string or three for me to be able to take that either as just a non-credit course, or if it was a credit course, I was auditing. So I did have some formal instruction, and I have had occasion sometimes to use what ASL I have with a patient. Not so much, actually not so much patients, clients when I was doing community mental health. We had plenty of other means in place because nobody else knew ASL, but our one client who did use ASL liked the fact that she could have conversations with me even if I pretty much was fingerspelling a lot. Because when you don't practice a language, you lose it. And which is why I'm starting back at ASL 1. I could possibly go to the next level, but some signs have clearly changed in the last, I'm not going to say how many years, and some I've just forgotten or confused or messed up. So that's one new book that I will be working through. The others are for Icelandic, which I've been working on learning since the fall of 2015. Totally self-study, using a number of books with, practice CDs that come with them, and off and on the University of Iceland's free self-paced online tutorial. I decided one of the things I needed to do was to start reading some kid level stuff. What I don't have and I'm not going to get is anyone to practice with in person here. Although if you speak Icelandic and you want to Skype and practice, please comment below because I'd love to. So I got some kid level stuff. A couple of comic books. I presume that Andrés Önd means Donald Duck, because that's who it appears to be. And I do know the word for pink, so this is clearly, between that and the picture, Pink Panther. Bleiki, Pardusinn. That double N is one of the things I have a hard time pronouncing for sure. But what I initially had set out to get, I actually did a little better than what I had set out to get. I had planned on getting the first two of the Harry Potter books, because I figured something that's geared towards kids that I've already read and I'm very familiar with, and that the reading level increases as you go along. It's meant to be that the reading level is set for the age Harry is. So first book 11 years old, second book 12 years old, and so on. And I actually scored the first three. Two of them I got at the flea market, and the two of them together cost substantially less than the very first book, brand new, which translated to about 35, 36 American dollars. Ouch. Although on the plus side, all of them were the same price, including, I believe the largest is Goblet of Fire, and same price. Okay. So, presume this is an Philosopher Stone, because the Sorcerer's Stone translation is an American thing. But I do not as yet know precisely what Viskusteinninn is, but either Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone, I presume. And yeah, I'm not at an 11-year-old reading level yet. It took me a while to figure out the chapter numbers. We've got Fyrsti kafli. Okay, so kafli, apparently chapter. Fyrsti, first. I see some words repeat a lot, like sagði, I presume is said, because that's in most of the speech tags. So, how fluently I'll be able to read it, I don't know, but of course I have the original English as well, so I can look at it side by side in addition to looking at, sadly, Google Translate, because, oh my gosh, the dictionary, the official dictionary, is way beyond what I could A, afford, and B, pack. So that didn't happen. In order to keep track of all this and keep myself on track, I have coughed up a couple of spreads that I'm going to use in my bullet journal. Something like this is what I'm planning for the Harry Potter one. And actually, I've got the 3 comic books and then the 3 Harry Potter books with check-off boxes for each chapter. I decided I was going to try to work out a spread for my ASL class, but I still don't know what the homework assignments are going to look like. For all I know, I may have to submit video practice assignments, in which case, you'll get to see them. These are the 2 things I've come up with so far. This is way too cramped, but just somewhere to write in the assignments. I kind of like this one a little better. Just go week by week. What's the topic? What chapters are we covering? And what the heck am I meant to be doing to practice? But until I actually see the assignments, I don't know if they give us a syllabus or how it's going to work. It's hard to really plan that. But I do plan to have both of these spreads in my July section of my bullet journal in some variation. And there is a bullet journal video coming when I set up July, because I'm going to try and actually do that whole camera down thing. 2 more books, which I didn't buy in Iceland, but I bought because of Iceland. When we were up at the University of Akureyri and the Akureyri Hospital, or Sjúkrahúsið á Akureyri, I love that the name for hospital is basically sick people house. This book on family assessment was recommended to us if we wanted to learn more about the family assessment model that they use at the Akureyri Hospital. And I gotta say, I and most of my students fell in love with this family assessment model, the way they have it implemented. If we could do something like this here, I don't know how it would work because of HIPAA and also the issue of EMRs not talking to each other. But the assessment model in which for each patient you have actually a picture of their whole support structure, their whole family support structure, whatever that means to them, and a way that goes with them from primary care to hospital to specialist. I love it. I want to learn more about it. So I've got this, and I will talk more about it once I've actually read it and can say more than that. The other is a book I have meant to read for years, although I kind of already read it. I read the dissertation upon which it is based, so a lot of it's going to look very familiar. And that is this book, The Jet Sex, originally under the dissertation title Ambassadors of the Air, about the role that flight attendants played in the Cold War and sort of bridging cultural gaps. That's not actually why I'm interested in it. I'm interested in the very beginning part where it talks about the history of nurses as flight attendants, and the original flight attendants were all nurses in the US. Why does Iceland have anything to do with that? At the moment, their nursing shortage is being driven in large part by a lot of nurses becoming flight attendants. And when they told us about this, I said, we did that last century. Why are you doing it now? There's all sorts of political stuff that's involved in why nurses are finding it much more just financially workable to go be a flight attendant once they graduate. And so I wanted to go back and revisit the American parallel of that, and maybe it'll either turn into a vlog, maybe a blog post, if I can dress it up enough, maybe something that I could actually publish. I have been looking for an opportunity to cite Vicky Vantoch. I'm going to try to. So that's some of my to-be-read stuff. I still have a whole bunch of other to-be-read stuff. I don't know when it's all getting done. You'd think I'd have all this time in the summer. Not really. But that's what I have for new books added to the to-be-read pile and their various purposes. If you have stuff going on with language acquisition or new books that you want to talk about that you're going to be reading, please put it in comments below. If you found this in any way interesting or entertaining, please hit the like button or the thumbs up and subscribe if you would like to see more from me. And until next time, bye.